What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. And oh, yeah, fantasy news today. We got a lot of news going down on Wednesday. We got
What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. And oh, yeah, fantasy news today. We got a lot of news going down on Wednesday. We got what up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you. And oh, yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
What up?
Technical difficulties. Hold on a sec. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little bit in the matrix too now.
Is it just me that I'm getting the echo?
I'm just
there we go.
In the matrix, but it usually mine passes because it only happens to me on the phone.
Technical difficulties. There we go. But sounds like we're okay, at least for now. We got a crazy Wednesday crew. We got we got Bogard. Who are you today again?
I am the evil Dark Lord of the Sith, the evil Emperor himself, Bill Bogard Scott.
And then we got TD repping Fantasy Good Sports.
And also Nino Brown.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, listen, me and Nino, we've done a lot of work all across the galaxy.
And then we got none other but Gandalf the Grey in the building. What up?
Hello, yes. Hello, everyone. Hello to the fantasy football freaks or the fans of the Fantasy Tyrant. Of course, it is Fantasy Freak Appreciation Week, and every day a new guest host. And today for Wednesday for this show and for later on Mixed Notes, I am Gandalf the Grey.
Yes. Gandalf, I love all your movies. I'm a big fan. And
thank you.
Listen, I used to have the line on that Shire tree. Bro, you got to set me up, bro. I knew a hobbit. I don't know what happened to him. He might have been lost in the Great War. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I need some of that line in that good Shire. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure that there's some there for you. There's plenty of room. Come and visit anytime.
So we got a lot of news today that we got to cover. Starting it off with Deshaun Watson, we've been getting a lot of crazy rumors. Yeah. And Commissioner Goodell, he came out and he said that the league is not at a point where they could put Watson on the commissioner's exempt list. There's just not enough news, out there from law enforcement. And for all those rumors about the Panthers expected to pursue them, they said they're not pursuing them. And then the Dolphins already came out and they said Tua is our quarterback. So I think we just got a bunch of fugazis out there.
So the tuna fish and the Terminator are secure. I don't buy it.
Because they don't like him. Doesn't seem like they like him very much over there.
I feel a disturbance in the force.
And Francisco said, love the Gandalf costume. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
That is correct. I was a little bit late today, but that's exactly right. Thank you, Francisco.
And we'll jump around a little bit. So we'll get into Thursday again because the Second Take Extra said his D-Hop plan. So according to coaches, Hopkins, so he didn't practice today. He's expected to be a game time decision, but coach says he fully expects him to play.
Listen,
sounds like some mixed signals.
As the Dark Lord of the Sith, Bill Bogard Scott himself, I am aware of Luke Skywalker. He is very strong in the Force. He will play.
Yes. Well, as a wizard, I have looked into this a lot and done much research, and I have found that DeAndre Hopkins, Nuke Hopkins, will be playing this weekend.
Yes.
I can almost guarantee it. 99% sure.
Nuke Skywalker.
You heard it here first. But now for the Packers side of things, looking rough. Devontae Adams, he's not even traveling with the team. He ain't playing.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. It is a Thursday game. I apologize. Yes, Thursday night, he'll be there.
And we just got some other news from the Cardinals. J.J. Watt is listed as out for Thursday's game.
He was like, hey, this is kind of crazy, man. All the, the little nuances. Like, I think it would actually be more difficult for them to play Green Bay at this point with no Adams because they might not know exactly what Rodgers finna do. You know what I mean? Like now this opens up a different game plan. They're gonna spread the ball around more. You know what I mean? And now you don't have JJ Watt all in your face. Yeah, you have Chandler.
But Chandler Jones is back.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just saying.
So that's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So let me try to wrap my head around this. Are you saying that it's going to be harder to defend the Packers because Devontae Adams is not there?
I didn't say defend. I said harder to game plan.
Harder to game plan. All right.
Yeah, because a point of emphasis in a game plan is to shut down Devontae Adams. He's not there now, and this being a team number one against the tight end, but they haven't really played against the tight end. Maybe we see a big Tunyon game. You know what I mean? Randall Cobb probably going to pile up a bunch of receptions. Fully expect a big run game out of both these running backs. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel on a short week.
I do feel that Isaiah Simmons could very well take Tunyon on, but I think with not a lot of weapons available, I still think he's going to get enough attention to where he could be fantasy viable, but maybe not have quite the huge week everybody's expecting.
And before you go, TD, last piece of news from this game, MVS, he still has not been activated off of IR, but he's traveling with the team. Team has until tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time to activate him. What do you think is going to happen in this game, TD, with all these injuries and craziness going on?
You're talking about with the Packers in Arizona, right?
Yep, Thursday game.
Yes, so they probably not going to be Arizona. They don't have Devontae. I don't think they would have beat him even though if they had Devontae. Like he said, Isaiah Simmons makes this team really deadly against tight ends. So does Budda Baker. These guys are hybrids. They can guard different positions. They can disguise blitzes because you don't know what position they line up. They could be a linebacker. They could be at safety. They could be at corner. So I think the Packers will fight hard. Aaron Rodgers will try to give them a good go, but I don't think Incarnate St. Brown, I don't think Tunyon, and I don't think Randall Cobb or even MVS has what it takes to beat this Arizona defense that's been thriving this year.
Remember Geronimo Allison and Jeff Janis?
Geronimo Allison, isn't he on the Lions now?
No, I'm just saying, remember Geronimo Allison and Jeff Janis? Like,
I do recall them, yes.
Those guys, it was a game against Arizona in the playoffs where Rodgers threw multiple Hail Marys that connected. You know what I mean?
Do you remember what year that was?
That was it was the 2015. So no, it was the 2016 playoffs. So it was the 2015 season.
Yeah.
But the playoff game, divisional matchup between Green Bay going into Arizona. But they went into overtime, and then Aaron Rodgers, and he has that.
Richard Rodgers?
That wasn't the Richard Rodgers game. That was the game. That was a Thursday nighter. That was where he damn near hit the Raptors throwing the ball up so high.
Okay.
You know what? I mean, I wish we could get a recap of the Packers Cardinals in 2009 when they were in the wild card game. I mean, we're going back, but I mean, this is the year that I believe it was the year that the Packers
to win.
Lost.
Yeah.
They lost. The Packers
lost the Super Bowl, right?
On the safety. They lost on the safety.
No. It was 2010. You're right. This was the year they went in to win, right?
So this is this is the 2008 season, 2009 playoff game.
Yeah, TD is right, because then that's when Arizona went on to lose to the Steelers.
Yes.
Yeah.
This game was insane. I believe the total score was really close to 100 points. It was insane. That's what I want to see. I want to see some shit like that tomorrow night.
I don't feel like that's going to happen.
No, not with all these injuries.
Not with all the COVID. Not with the Thursday night. No.
Hey, Gandalf, he blows the smoke and he sees the game.
Yes. Well, I can look into the Palantir, which I'll be doing tonight on Mixed Notes, but I didn't bring it with me this time. But if I look into the Palantir, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Shout out to Chase for getting that super sticker in. There we go.
Yeah.
We're going to be answering questions the last 15, 20 minutes of the show. So if you're asking questions, start, sit, trades, just hang on until the end. And Gandalf, he's got it right. 4:20 Eastern time. Let's get it rolling. Let's see here. What else we got? We got the Bucks Oh, man. Did you guys hear that Antonio Brown was not practicing and had to use a crutch to walk out to the field?
Yes. Very concerning, of course. But, however, I did hear about Gronk coming back. So, if you have Gronk and you've been waiting to use them, especially if AB is out, this would definitely be the time to do it.
He's officially practicing. They already said he's playing this Sunday. It's official. Gronk, Levante David, Richard Sherman were all back at practice today.
And I'll be right back, fellas.
All right.
I wouldn't play Gronk. The reason why I wouldn't play Gronk because they need Gronk for the playoffs. This team is ready and made. Why would they go out there and risk Gronk getting hit in the ribs again? I think if he does play, I think he plays on a snap count, and I think he's a decoy.
Man, could you imagine being a decoy out there but getting your ribs hit a couple times, by some players? That would suck. Going up against the Saints.
I hear what you're saying there, TD, but my point is that if Antonio Brown is out, they might want to utilize him. If Antonio Brown is playing, then yes, they might hold him back a bit.
Okay. And sometimes I've been watching a lot of Tampa Bay, and sometimes it seems like when Antonio Brown is out, they pacify Mike Evans. Like, okay, Mike, don't worry about it. We got you today. We're paying you the money. Don't get mad. We're going to give you some targets. And it seems like he just goes heavily targets Mike Evans to pacify him.
Oh, yes.
So I just don't feel like they really need Gronk. But you're right. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I get the essence of what you're saying.
Like Vince McMahon likes to say, there is no chance in hell that Antonio Brown plays this week. If you're walking out to practice on crutches on Wednesday, you're not going to be good to play on Sunday. It's just not going to happen. And Corey, what up? Said, is Buda Baker playing tomorrow? As far as I know, yeah.
From what I heard, yes.
Yes, he should be playing.
And Corey shouting out Fantasy Tyrant and TD. Tyrant's not here. It is the great gray Gandalf of Gray.
Who is this tyrant he speaks of?
Yes. The Fantasy Tyrant has taken the week off. I am instead here from Fangorn Forest for today.
What up, Jack? All right, how about we switch it over to these Bears? So David Montgomery's not coming off IR today. They're making it seem like he's not coming off this week. So Herbert's going to be the guy again. Khalil Mack not expected to play this week, and they're going up against the 49ers. So I'm sure Jimmy G is going to like that news.
Yes.
Hey,
Jimmy, I would be very happy to hear that Khalil Mack is not going to be up in my grill for the entire game.
Hey, this is Jimmy G's favorite team growing up. He's from outside of he's from Illinois, somewhere outside of Chicago, bro. So I'm excited because, them home returns, bro.
And let's see.
That doesn't mean I think he's gonna have a big game. It's just like it's kind of a cop out to.
I was going to say I would disagree if you're saying that he's going to have a good game, but.
And here's the reason why he might not have a good game. Debo is not practicing, calf injury. It is a Wednesday, so we don't freak out too much on Wednesday, but we have to talk about it at least.
Man, them calf injuries is contagious, B.
Yeah. So Jimmy only has about 2 to 3 more weeks. That's why all he gets. As soon as this team says, listen, this year we're not going to make it to the playoffs, here comes Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, don't be surprised, guys, because we don't know what's going to happen between the trade deadline. Jimmy could be up for trade. So if they lose this week, Jimmy probably could get traded next week. That might be the best time to trade him.
He's too expensive.
Well, it just depends on what team it is. It depends on what team. Like for 1 year rental, I don't mind giving a quarterback $20 million for 1 year.
No, but I'm saying though, like he's gonna be too expensive on our end too. Like we're not just gonna give him up for no 3rd round or you know what I mean.
Are you sure? What you gonna do? You just gonna let him leave?
No,
and don't get nothing from him.
I mean, you still have the entirety of the offseason.
I could see a package going where a 3rd rounder this year and maybe a 4th round next year, something like that.
Yes.
That wouldn't be I think we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Rushman. He said that these people is the #1 fantasy football show on the planet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the galaxy. You know what? Most of the shit I heard about any kind of trade involving Jimmy, it was always like something involving a second rounder minimum. You know what I mean? So, and that wasn't it. You know what I mean? Second round, fourth round. I don't know about a third and a fourth, but yeah. And listen, I'm not opposed to it. We need more picks. We didn't give it all away to get Lance. You know what I mean?
Well, you was trying to showcase Jimmy, and he hasn't showcased to get that second. That's what y'all was trying to showcase him for. Exactly. I don't think he's played good enough for the second. So now you be like, okay, this is cut losses. What you don't want is him to just leave and you don't get anything. I think that's the worst case scenario to me.
My organization with this regime has done foolish things, like try to trade for Tom Brady, then get denied, and then take Jimmy instead. Then Tom Brady wants to come to the Niners, and we're like, Jimmy's our guy. These are the type of decisions my organization makes. So I can't, you know what I mean? I can't necessarily say, you know what I mean, that we'll do the right thing trading Jimmy for what we think he's worth, because we might not think he's worth much anyway.
I was the one who said that the 49ers should have went out and got Kyle Pitts. And everybody's like, oh, man, you're so crazy. Like, we got Kittle. We're good. I'm just going to say I was right, because this team would be looking really nice if they have Pitts right now.
But now, remember your other pound, though, Hustler, I said that Kyle Pitts has a chance to be the number one tight end. You said, how that's working for you? Travis Kelce. I told you.
Redraft, right? We were talking redraft at that point.
Okay.
We've only seen games of Kyle Pitts. We've seen several years of Travis Kelce. I'm not taking, and with the way the Chiefs are looking now, ain't nobody predicted that. So can't nobody tell me
predicted what?
Confident in saying a rookie tight end was going to be number one this year.
I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I stand on it. Hold me accountable for that. I feel comfortable with that because I just feel comfortable with that. And if I'm wrong, Bogard, I accept it.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, that's why I had Kyle Pitts number 4 overall, so I'm not far off. And the top guys in front of him, two of them, one of them's hurt, and the other 2 haven't been producing. So,
I'll be very interested to see how Kittle plays once it's Lance in there and he comes back, and I want to see the 2 of them together and see how that does for his production.
I think with Lance, for the rest, like with Lance, it's going to be so hard to diagnose who, like, what are we going to do? We're just going to have to roll out everyone like Debo and Kittle at least, right? But we don't know what the pass attempts are going to look like. The last time he started a game, he ran 16 times. You know what I mean? That just, without even watching him, that means he's raw. You know what I mean? So,
he's back at practice. Back at practice, limited at practice. So we shall see. If TD is right, 2 more weeks. Like he said, that's what TD's calling. 2 more weeks for Jimmy G.
Hey, real quick, what did they say about my man Monty Burns? Did they say they didn't take him off yet?
So they didn't take him off the IR yet. There's really nothing, no news about him just yet. But if they don't do it by tomorrow at 4:00 Eastern, they got to wait until next week, I believe. Something like that.
It's all good. He's not going to play. They might even wait it out a little more.
I feel like they're going to wait till week 11 after the bye. That's my thought.
That was my projection initially as well. It would have been nice to have him come off the IR already and then doing workouts and getting in practice, even if he's not going to play yet. You know what I mean? So I know by the time he does play, I could throw him in the lineup confidently.
And usually if teams are going to do it, they do it on a Wednesday so he can get right back to practice, just like normal. So if he's not getting activated on a Wednesday, it's looking unlikely for this week.
Yep.
Let's see. And then last piece about the 49ers. Shanahan expects Kittle to return to practice next week. He said, quote unquote, I'd be surprised if he didn't return.
Oh, good. Good.
I'll be surprised if I don't slap Shanahan if I ever meet him in person. Like, tell me to tell us the truth.
Oh, Shanahanigans are very strong this season.
Yes,
they are.
No,
and don't forget, everyone, we're going to be getting to questions here probably in the next 15 minutes or so. We're covering some more news, covering the rest of the news, and we're going to get to the questions. Dolphins Not too much news there, but the coach is hopeful that Parker will be able to string a few practices together before playing the Bills this week. We don't even got to talk about them. Just wanted to bring that up. Parker expected to come back, according to the coaches. How about them Cowboys, though? So Dak, he's going to work, do individual drills today. He's working in those. They said they're going to evaluate him more when it comes to the team portion of practice. And Michael Gallup is returning to practice for the first time since going on IR.
Hey, yo, this is so crazy because, man, how do they extremely downplayed it. Oh, no, he was fine. He could have played more if it wasn't the end of the game and blah, blah, blah. And now, like, his playing is in jeopardy. This is crazy.
It's called smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm just saying, though, like, this is concerning. You know what I mean? It's not
he'll be okay. He'll be okay. It's just that we're not going to risk it. He's coming off an injury from last year. So we're not going to force him out there. So we're going to give him a week or two because we got a good record. That's what I feel like it is. I feel like if we was down and we needed him to play, he would play.
My thing is, the bye week. It's like you said, it's been 2 weeks. That's why it's concerning to me. You know what I mean?
Triple X Lex, complimenting on your pipe there, Gandalf.
Oh, thank you. Yes. I've had this for many, many years. And it's always treated me well. So thank you.
And Rushman, there we go. Got the 420 crew in the building. You said, what the actual bottom right guy's pipe is killing. There we go. Gandalf getting some puff pass going. Axel Cuchin, he said, are we expecting Saquon and Michael Thomas to play? Michael Thomas isn't playing this week. They said it's probably going to be a couple more weeks. And then for the Giants, Barkley, Shepard, Galladay, and Tony are all practicing today. Evan Ingram is the only one who did not practice. To what extent, we don't know, but they were out there.
Yeah.
Let's go Saquon.
Absolutely.
We need him. We need him back. So this will be something that we're monitoring literally all week, so make sure you tap back in. We're here every day, every weekday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Now for the Browns, they had a lot of players that did not practice. Denzel Ward, Jadeveon Clowney, Jarvis Landry after last week's little setback, and then Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Kareem Hunt. Did you say anything about Kareem Hunt?
So, he's on IR, so he can't practice. But Nick Chubb is not on this list. He was out there at practice.
Yes. For all of those who picked up Dearness Johnson, you must be disappointed. Try to trade him to the Chubb owner as soon as possible.
I don't know. I think Dearness Johnson is still a flex play. This is a team that's going to run 30 times. So now you have Chubb and him to split the workload because I don't think they're going to give Chubb 30 touches on the ground when they have playoff aspirations.
I would sell him on that. I would say that's what's going to happen. Sell him on it because his value is not going to be much higher than it is right now because Hunt will come back eventually and then he'll be worth nothing.
You're right.
And let's see. Dearness Johnson, he had 2 targets compared to Demetric Felton's 3 targets.
That's the other word that I have is that they switch him and Felton out on the third downs and passing downs.
Maybe maybe Dearness just ends up being that change of pace guy because it's not like either one of them got more pass work necessarily. And
get what you can for him now. I'm telling you, I am a wizard. I know.
Do it. All right. Oh, Bill Romanowski in the building. What up, Bill?
Antonio. Is that real Bill?
I saw Bill Romanowski, but that looks like Jesse Ventura to me.
It totally is Jesse Ventura. And Antonio J.J. Watt just pronounced out for this week. Yep, we talked about that the Thursday game a little bit ago. Let's see here. What else do we got? Oh, Rock Out getting his super chat in. Drop CAL for the LA Chargers. Who's CAL? Is that supposed to be Dallas? I'm assuming. Drop Dallas for the Chargers. I'd say yeah. I want the Chargers versus the Patriots.
I don't
Cowboys
know.
play.
It's not the strongest of players, but if I were to choose one over the other, yes. I feel like Dallas against Minnesota. Minnesota scores too much. I don't think Dallas is going to have their usual good game on defense. I think the Chargers will be a better play, but maybe not the best play.
What do you think, TD? Out of these, who you rather playing? Dallas's defense or the Chargers defense?
So I'm different, and I would actually take y'all lead on this because I'm not really that great with defense because I don't play in a lot of defensive leagues. I'm more IDP guy. But to me, if I got some sauce, I'm holding on to it. I don't like try to go matchups with defense. I've had Arizona defense on one league, and I'm not dropping them. For now, I don't care what
I'm keeping Arizona's defense. Yeah.
Yes. But even if they was a little bit lesser, I still would keep them. If I thought they was good, I'm gonna ride it. So if you want to do that, that's fine. I like Dallas defense because I think they very turnover opportunistic. So I'm keeping Dallas. That's me, my personal.
Dallas has a better schedule coming for the next few games. They got Vikings, then Broncos, and then Falcons. Chargers have a little tougher schedule, but I want them versus the Patriots. Patriots aren't putting up a 50 burger on the Chargers like they did to the Jets.
No.
Let's see what else we got here. We got I guess I didn't mention it a little bit earlier, but for the Panthers, Sam Darnold, he took all the first team reps. Plan is to start him. So for everyone who thought because he was benched last week when they were doing trash that he's not gonna start, I mean he's starting. Oh, but how about this for the Texans, TD? Tyrod Taylor getting back out there to practice.
Yes. I think they would have helped me out last week. Hustle.
Yeah, so getting a little bit closer, and we'll just talk about all these super flex QBs. I don't know who's going to be playing Mike White, but if you need a QB in the super flex league, Gandalf, are you picking up Mike White, who is going to be starting for the Jets this week versus the Bengals in a deep super flex league?
I mean, if you have to, you have to, but I'm not liking it. It's too much of a risk. I would hope that there's a lot of, other options. But if you're like in a 16-team superflex league, it's only 32 teams. So of course you got to start somebody who's got blood flowing. So I mean, yeah, I guess, but I wouldn't be too thrilled about it.
Listen, there's going to be guys playing him in a 14-team superflex that didn't have a second QB for this, that, or the third reasons. You know what I mean? So but hey. He's the guy. He's one of those guys, man. You're just hoping he gets projected at least. You know what I mean?
There you go. Just don't get negative points. That's it. Just don't get
right.
Negative
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking for a 12-point, 13-point performance out of him.
Pretty much.
I'm a guy that needed a super flex quarterback the way I drafted because I wanted to stack my team a certain way. So I need quarterbacks. And I don't mind taking Tyreek Hill. So I'm just giving an example for my team, taking him out of my super flex and putting him down to my wide receiver and getting maybe 15 points from a quarterback because that's easy to get 15 to 10 points out of a quarterback than to go with a tight end that doesn't get 2 to 3 targets a game. So I'm going after him. I just think this makes my lineup a little bit more better.
Yeah, so shout out there to Walter Horn, who is one of the Fantasy Tyrants super freaks on Patreon. Thank you for that super sticker.
We appreciate it. And so 2 last pieces of news, and we're going to get into these super chats and the questions. So both of these we'll just be monitoring later in the week. But for the Titans, no A.J. Brown at practice. He's pretty much missed the last Wednesday practice for the last month. So I'm not worried as of today. And then for the Eagles, Devonta Smith missed practice with a headache. So something else we will be monitoring.
He'll take an aspirin or an Excedrin or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He'll be all right.
What is he on, his period or something?
Give him an edible, he'll be fine.
There we go. Yeah, have they legalized marijuana in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania? If not, let's get him hooked up. All right. Let's get into these super stickers and super chats. Appreciate you, Walter. And he said, I hear Gronk is healing. Isn't he connected with the golem?
Oh, no, I don't believe anymore, at least. He'll be coming back, and he'll be golem-free.
He will be there. They already said it's official. He is playing. And there we go. Matt says, might as well go for another entry. I'm going to get you marked down on that. So, yeah, just a little reminder. Everyone who throws in a $5 super chat, you get an extra entry into the Alex Highsmith jersey giveaway. And get this up here so everyone could see it one time. There we go. And he even inscribed it with Steeler Nation there. Going to be fly for your man or woman cave. And we're less than 10 subscribers away on YouTube. So I'm sure that's going to happen tomorrow when we have the Ricky Williams interview going down. I'm going to put that link in the chat just so you guys remember to go set a reminder right now. That's tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 12 noon Pacific. Ricky Williams, friend of the show, is going to be here. And there we go. But a trade I was offered was me trading away Eckler and McKissick, and I get Mixon and Amari Cooper.
Eckler and McKissick and Mixon. No, I'm not doing that. I mean, like Cooper, it is a decent trade, but it's man, come on, it's Austin Powers, man. He doesn't even have his bye week no more. J.D. McKissick has a solid floor. You know what I mean? I get it though. He wants Cooper, even though Cooper's still, the pooper scooper. He's an injury prone individual, and he's on a team where they probably gonna run more than we want them to, man. Real talk.
I feel Austin Eckler is obviously the best player in that trade, and I would want to keep him personally. I'm not Mixon. You're getting a major downgrade on, especially with the injury issues and things. And on top of that, with Amari Cooper, you're dealing with the injury issues and the fact that CeeDee Lamb has pretty much overtaken the number one wide receiver position, and then you got Gallup coming back. And that's not going to help things.
Oh, yeah.
My rule of thumb is no matter how many players are in the trade, I want the best player out of everybody in there to be coming to my team, not the other way around. So I would shy away from this trade. I wouldn't be trying to trade Eckler for – I mean, McKissick's a throw-in at this point. You're pretty much trading Eckler for Mixon and Amari Cooper, and I don't even like that.
No.
Yeah.
Hold. Rock out. What up? Said no Panthers D. Oh, it was the Panthers D or the Chargers. So the Panthers are going up against the Falcons. And I think I'd still rather, for the Panthers, Shaq Thompson, it was back at practice today. He should be coming back for what that's worth. But I'm still sticking with the Chargers. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I like the Chargers.
I'm even more on the Chargers in that case.
Yeah,
I like the Chargers too because they just actually get at the quarterback too. You know what I mean? So I want points somehow. Yeah.
David in the building. What up?
What
All right. Let's get back to the beginning here real quick. We'll answer a handful of these questions in the next 15 minutes or so. The Cooch Master. Trade away Najee and CD for Kupp and Gibson. No.
No. I love Gibson, but I don't love him that much.
Now, to go back to your point, though, Kupp might be considered the best player in that trade, but for that, Najee and CD are that good or that close to being that good to where, okay, in that case, yes, I would want to keep Najee and CD.
And you got him the rest of the way.
And I think it's debatable on if Kupp or Najee is the best.
I agree with that.
I said maybe.
Yeah. I'm just saying that it's way closer there than in that other trade.
Absolutely. That's my point. It's so close that CD is that much better asset in PPR than Gibson that I would definitely say that Najee and CD is the better side.
And with what they're doing right now, both Najee and Kupp, as long as they keep up 50% of what they're doing, they're going to still finish in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Yep. Second take extra. Should I trade away Damian Harris and Hollywood to get Gibson? Gibson and Lockett. Gibson would be the running back 3 and Lockett would be his wide receiver 4.
The only way I do this trade to bring over Gibson and Lockett is if I'm a guy that's 5-2 or 6-1 right now, or even undefeated. I'm not fooling with that trade if I'm close to 500 or sub 500.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a winning record and be planning for the future.
It's not
especially
a bad Harris every week. Harris, we throw him in there, and we just pray that Belichick doesn't fucking get disgusted with him at one point.
Right.
Like, but Harris has been eating, though. And then now you hear all the stories about, like, how he was dorm mates or roommates with Mac Jones, and, like, I didn't know all that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Puts a little emphasis on pass protecting. He's like, he got to protect his mans, right? You know what I mean?
Vopizzi, start Deontay or Henderson at the flex. Henderson goes up against the Texans. Deontay goes up against the Browns.
I'm going Henderson. I just want the guaranteed workload.
Yep, he gets all the work there.
Well,
Deontay
gets
Henderson,
like 10 targets.
Yeah, for sure, and they're all manageable targets too. They're all short.
Yeah, yes.
So it's almost as good as running the ball, right? But, like, I'm just going with a team that's going to be smashing tremendously, and they run. They're one of the teams.
I have to say that trade worked out so well for both Stafford and the Rams. Everybody on the Rams has gotten better except for Woods, and Stafford. Henderson so much better off this year.
What's crazy is I never thought that Van Jefferson would negatively affect Robert Woods in the way he is, because those 2, 3, 4 targets that Van Jefferson be getting, those used to go to Woods. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Let's see. And sorry about this, Chase. I didn't see this earlier. Patterson or Scary Terry? Terry going up against the Broncos. Patterson going up against Panthers.
Man, if I have to make a decision here, I'm probably going the pimp, just because, I kind of do respect the secondary of the Broncos. You know what I mean? Like, Patrick versus McLaurin's going to be a nice little matchup. I mean, do we trust the volume of force feed? Because then, if that's the case, I don't care about the matchup. He's going to get volume and targets. I'm going to go with the guy who's leading this backfield in snaps, and he's getting all the work, and he's getting targets.
I mean, he led the team in snaps. At least for the offensive, everybody except the QB.
Yeah.
73% tied with Ridley. And then Wentz or Ryan. All right, Chase. Wentz or Ryan?
Wentz.
I'm going Wentz. Yeah, Bogart just said it too.
I'm going back. Go ahead.
And say Wentz has a nice schedule for what it's worth over these next 3 games.
Yes, I think Wentz up against the Titans is actually a very good matchup for him. The Titans are giving up, I believe, the 5th most fantasy points to quarterbacks this season. And Wentz, he's a bit volatile, but he's starting to gel more and more with that offense. He's been over 20 fantasy points for the past 3 weeks. And, I think that's a very good matchup. As far as Matt Ryan is concerned, he's always hit and miss. You never quite know what he's going to do unless it's like a really, really, really good matchup. I usually am not starting him. Now I do realize. Give me a second here. Sorry. Anyway, yeah. I mean that's how I feel. I think against Carolina, against that defense, it's they're giving up the 13th fewest fantasy points to quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, I'm only using in good matchups.
You know what? Matt Ryan's he has a really solid floor. We've only seen the upside twice, and they were against the Jets and the Dolphins. So that's what you're supposed to do. So you're right.
Yes.
Want a solid floor play? Go Matt Ryan. I think Carson Wentz has a shaky ass floor, but his upside is there actually. You know what I mean? The reason Carson Wentz's floor is so shaky is because they're viable to just run it in when they're down there, and that's not good for him, right? But they could also do it on the inverse and throw it to the running back when they're down there. Or Carson Wentz will fuck around and run with it himself like he did last week against my Niners.
They have similar type production, and really, in that case, you want to go with who's got the better matchup. I think that Matt Ryan's matchup is a little bit tough. So, yeah, that's where I'm going.
You want a cereal bar?
No.
Well, we can't hear you, man.
There we go. Triple X Lex just he's a wizard himself, taking a bong rip right when you announced 4:20 Eastern time.
Yes.
Right on
Insane.
time.
Yeah, that's right.
The Cooch Master, trade away Najee for either Diggs, Jefferson, or Chase in PPR. If so, which one would you pick? Stacked at the running back position. I'm sure that you're stacked at the running back position because of Najee. If you trade him away, you won't be as stacked. I can guarantee that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that for any of them.
No. Running back is too valuable. Too valuable.
Yeah. And I don't like to wish injury upon anyone, but if your team catches an injury and you trade away Najee, you're definitely not going to be stacked at RB.
No.
Man,
it happens.
I wonder if this is like how people are viewing Najee, because I'm about to shoot for the moon, bro, and send out Fournette and like a Gibson package and see if I could bring back Najee.
You mean shoot from the Death Star, as it were?
You feel me? You know what I mean? The dark side of the force is strong within me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hold.
Yes.
All right. Oh, and I didn't even see this one. Vanessa, thanks for getting the super chat in there. I didn't see your question.
Hello, Vanessa.
In there, but I will be looking. And Rock Out, getting that extra entry into the jersey giveaway. Let's get it. And he said, would you trade Lamb and Gibson for Swift, Ridley, and Jamal? Non-PPR would still have Diggs and Godwin.
That's one of those good old classic team swappers right there.
Yeah. I mean, I like the running back upgrade because at least I'm going to say Swift is an upgrade over Gibson right now.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that the way that the season's gone so far, you would think, well, you'd want to keep Lamb over Ridley. And in general, yes, I would say that is true. But I don't think in reality, as the rest of the season goes on, that you're going to be losing too much on that. Jamal Williams is kind of a throw-in at this point. But having him with Swift, I think that's a good it's close. It's very close.
Insurance.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It would be a throw-in in any other trade, but in this one, it actually it helps. It boosts that up. It's tough. It's almost 50-50 in my mind.
I'm gonna go on the limb and just say if he wants to upgrade that running back, then his decision is already made.
Yes. It depends on what else you have. If you don't have too much going on at running back, you're not stacked at running back. I would say that would be an okay trade.
Based on the fact that he's telling me his other wide receivers here, I'm assuming running back is the position he needs to address on his team.
Yes.
So I'd say go ahead and do that. It's
would.
tough losing Lamb, but it's going to be nice getting Swift on the upgrade.
Yes, absolutely. And Jamal Williams has the insurance there.
Yeah, getting some Aflac at the same time. Alex Santos, trade Eckler and Devonta Smith for Nick Chubb and Calvin Ridley. I have DeAndre Swift and McCaffrey.
No.
I say just hold Eckler.
Yes.
I mean,
that's a lot closer than that other trade we heard with Austin Eckler. But I think that Austin Eckler being the best asset in that trade, and with Devonta Smith over time, I think that he'll get, as the Eagles start losing out, they're going to use him more and more, and he'll get a lot of garbage time. So he's not going to. I think Ridley will still be a little bit better, but not so much to where I want to trade Eckler for Chubb.
Hold.
Yeah, I'm not doing like. Always remember, look at where your players are ranked at the moment, because that way, the trade will make sense to me. Why are you gonna move off from the number 2 running back overall to get
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? But also, unless you're just dissecting the upcoming schedule and you like that path, I get it. But nah, we're not doing that one.
Let's see what's the next one we got here. Corey, what up? Is it time to trade Amari Cooper with Gallup back in the mix and all the other playmakers? I mean, I'm not trying to sell them off cheap if that's what you mean.
No, sell high if you can sell, but don't sell low.
Yeah,
Gallup. I'm of the mindset that Gallup coming back helps his offense a little bit more.
It really does. How about this too? I'm trying to find the Cowboy fan in my league. Like, bro, I got your bruh. I got Cooper. Yeah,
and And shout out to the Cowboy fan that we all know who's in the hospital right now. It is he's not doing good. He really needs all our prayers and support right now. He's going through a lot right now.
Yeah, man, keep your head up still.
Yeah, he said it might come down to like quadruple bypass surgery, heart bypass surgery. So yeah, there's a lot going on for that man right now.
A lot of positive vibes for him.
Coming your way, Stu. Said you guys, my man Matt, you guys think I should trade Eckler and McKissick for Mixon and Cooper? We answered that one. Hold. All right. And Bill Romanowski says, I hope Saquon plays Monday. I hope so too. He's practicing today.
Yeah, man. I mean, this puts him on path, right? Puts him on track, right?
Yep. Puff pass. Danny Dimes, Ryan Tannehill, or Sam Darnold need someone to replace Lamar for his bye.
I like Danny Dimes. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm going give me the pesos. He's playing against the Chiefs. They're giving up the most production opposing.
Yes.
They're giving up everything. You know what I mean? You know what? Hey, if the Chiefs defense are not Gandalf, you know what I mean? Because Gandalf, you know what I mean? He says you shall not pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Danny Dimes, he's gonna be dropping dimes.
He's gonna be dropping dimes and bombs all game along against those Chiefs. You know that with all the talk that the Chiefs are definitely bulking things up and they're going to be scoring a lot more points than they have been recently. And I think that they're going to have to answer, and Danny Dimes is the better play out of those three personally. And I normally wouldn't say that. I'm not a big Danny Dimes fan. I feel like his play is very volatile, but I think it's, again, a matchup-based thing. And in this game, yes, go with the Dimes.
You know what, too? One more thing I want to add is the fact that he has Lamar on a bye week. This is like the closest thing to, like, not Lamar, but, fantasy-wise, because you got a guy who's going to run around too. You know what I mean?
The white Michael Vick, right? What do they call him?
Oh, but what about Sam Newton?
Gandalf's killing it over here. Yeah, take a hit after that one. That was good. And Mark, Stafford or Herbert this week? I think it's always Herbert.
Yeah. I mean, I swear
As long as he's playing, yes.
He's asked us this before, right? And like I would try to move one of them to somebody that just likes to trade for a quarterback, because you shouldn't have to make these decisions. Those are both guys you just play every week. I mean,
yes.
No, I mean, maybe, you know what, too? Like maybe this week, maybe Stafford, because it's Houston. You know what I mean? Maybe they're splitting hairs.
They could also go up so much that they just lean on him.
Yes, but I don't think you're going to gain that much from Stafford over Herbert. It's going to be worth playing, because if you do that and he ends up doing 20 points and Herbert goes off, you're going to feel like an asshole.
And I mean, Herbert also is on a revenge tour right now, because this is the team that put him in his place last year.
Oh yes.
He's not a rookie this year.
Yeah, let's go. I love Herbert.
And Austin, thanks for getting that super chat in. I got you that extra entry into the jersey giveaway. Said standard league, Gronk or Hawk, pick one for the flex. Emmanuel or let's just go with Gronk or Hawk first. I'm going Gronk. Hawk's been bad.
Yes. Yes, Gronk this week. I know that if they keep him on a pitch count, then that's not going to. I don't think they're going to pitch count him that much to where it's going to handicap his points to where he's going to do as bad as Hawkinson has been doing recently. So I got to go Gronk on that
one.
And then
Detroit's playing Philly. I'm going Hawkinson. Philly is so bad against the tight end.
There we go. We got 2 for Gronk, 1 for Hawk. Where are you going on that, TD? Gronk or Hawk?
Also because Gronk, I mean, when you want Gronk, what do they want Gronk to be out there doing? They want him blocking too. If Gronk is only out there running routes, makes him one-dimensional, you're banking on the touchdown, because they'll only put him out there in those important third downs, red zone packages. That's it. You know what I mean? If he's on a pitch count. So based on that, I'm going Hawkinson against the Eagles. They can't guard a tight end.
Where are you going on this, TD?
I'm gonna go with Hawk, and the reason why I'm gonna go with Hawk is, why did you draft him? You don't draft these tight ends and then you try to play matchups with them. You let them go out and ride. You got Darren Waller, you play him. You got Travis Kelce, you play him. You got T.J. Hawkinson, you play him. So I would say Hawkinson. And if not in the future, I think you should trade one of these guys.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. You should trade one of them. Yeah.
Move them, get them moving. All right, let's see. We got a couple Patreon questions here. And let's see. We got my man Will. Should I start Ricky Seals-Jones or pick up Komet, Ingram, Jonnu Smith, or Hooper? I'm going with Seals-Jones.
I'm going RSJ. Yeah.
Give me a seal.
Oh, dang it. And Austin said, what about his flex question? We'll do that right now. Sorry about that. Forgot. It was a two-parter.
Oh, yes.
So for Austin's flex, Manuel Sanders, Chuba Hubbard, Sutton, Bateman, Carter, Gaskin. Pick one.
This week, I actually do like Chuba Hubbard. Well, I guess the question would be if it's a PPR, then others might be considered. But I actually like what they've been saying, that they want to get more explosiveness out of the running backs. And I can see that being a bigger game for him. Again, if it's PPR, I might consider Sutton, but with Jerry Jeudy coming back, I think that there's going to be less targets for him. Sanders, that's another a decent choice too, but hard to tell what he's going to get from game to game. It's between him, Diggs, Beasley. I know Knox is out, but still, I think it's harder to pick. Hubbard is the safe play. That's all I'm saying.
I will agree. Hubbard's a safe play, and Atlanta gets gashed up.
Yes, exactly.
But man, it's. I'm gonna agree with you. Like I said, I'm going to Chuba Hubbard, but I do want to say, man, Cortland Sutton's playing the football team, bro. They give up mad yards to the receiver every week, so I'm scared if Judy's back. You know what I mean? But and we've seen Teddy B put up 300-yard outings a couple times this year already. So he is Teddy Roosevelt. You know what I mean? So that one's it's really close, but I have to lean Hubbard. I'm going to
Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, he's on one of the best offenses in the league. Josh Allen is looking for him, especially in the end zone. He's the guy who ends up being wide open down the field, for 20, 30-yard touchdowns because everyone's shadowing Diggs so much. They got no Knox, like Mr. Gandalf said over there, who's been eating up some of those red zone targets. So, yeah, I'm going upside here. Hubbard, definitely the safest play. He's going to get the most volume out of everybody here. Carter might even be safe with Mr. Mike White in there because he's probably going to be checking it down all the time. But I'm going upside with one of the best offenses in the league.
Too much Ty Johnson for me to like Carter that much.
So I love garbage time players in fantasy. I've seen a lot of championships won with garbage time players. So what I would say, I like Michael Carter because he's a PPR guy and he has upside for touchdown. And they also want to make their pick look good. They want to see what he's got. So out of these guys in a vacuum, I like Michael Carter. And I'm pretty sure you mean rest of the season. Rest of the season, I think Bateman is going to be special. But
We're just talking about this week, picking one for
so Carter.
Oh, it does say standard league. I'm sorry, I did not see that. Then yes, I would go Hubbard.
I mean, here's one thing I want to point out about Bateman. Bateman, he is who he expect him to be, and we haven't even fully seen it yet. But the one thing I am worried about is he is going to lead those receivers in targets on a week-to-week basis, but 6 targets is that's probably all he's going to get. So maybe a high-end, a high-end WR2 on weeks. You know what I mean?
And there you go, Austin. So confused you a little bit, but at least you got the reasoning behind why each of us want the players that we want. So,
but why would he talk about? Why is he talking about?
We always agreed we'd be terrible at our jobs.
What is he talking about Bateman if he's talking about this week? He
said one for the flex. That's all we were picking, his flex position. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, isn't they on a bye this week, Bateman?
Yeah, they are on a bye.
Oh, so yeah. So that's why, yeah.
Yeah,
He just put everybody out on his bench there.
I thought he was asking rest of the season about
Me too.
No. He probably just forgot that Bateman was on the bye or just looked at his team and punched it all in. Is probably what happened. All right, here we go. Another question here on Patreon from my man Will. Said, pick one: Collins, Singletary, Gaskin, Boston Scott.
Gaskin.
Yeah, negative game script.
I didn't. Who was it? Who were the choices?
It is Alex Collins, Singletary, Gaskin, Boston Scott, PPR.
Oh, yes, Gaskin. I agree.
The bitch Carol Gaskin.
And then we got Axel Cushin, who got in a super chat in here. Let me get you marked down for another entry into the jersey giveaway. Got an offer of Eckler for my Waller and Saquon. Current running backs: Henry, Saquon, Patterson, and Hunt. Current tight ends: Jared Cook and Waller. Man, I'd be trying to get Eckler in the PPR league.
And like Waller, this is like still selling Waller for what he is because Waller hasn't really been doing it for us. And he's not doing it for you right now this week either. I just ship him off to get Eckler with my Henry and my corduroy pimping.
If you've got Hunter Henry, I mean, that's I would do it.
Yeah, no, he said he has Derrick Henry already, right?
Jared Cook.
Oh, I'm sorry, Derrick Henry. I thought for some reason I heard. I didn't even read the damn thing. I'm sorry.
He's stacked at running back already, so he'd be upgrading. There, Henry, Saquon, Corduroy, Pimpin, and then Hunt are his running backs right now, and then he's got Jared Cook and Waller. So I mean, either way, how many things are wrong with Waller? Bogart, how many issues does he have right now, injury wise?
Like, I mean, just a friend of a friend said, yeah, he's just all banged up right now. Like this is that taking off that week, and then the bye week is like, he hopes that he's gonna come back and be back right. You know what I mean?
But he's still banged up. He's not going to be back to 100%.
This shit he's been nursing since the beginning, since before the season started. He didn't play no preseason. He was nursing some type of injuries. They're real hush about it.
And Axel Cushin said, my team is stacked. I say you just do that. Make your team extra stacked.
That's right.
And
Waller is a concern, especially since they've got Foster Moreau there and he's playing well. I think that, I'm scared of that a little bit.
Brother, you know what I'll do too? I'm going to go and try to grab every tight end I could that's out there, like, Dan Arnold or just all these flyer guys right now that aren't owned already. And then I'd even grab Foster Moreau.
Yes. Yeah.
What if they find out he said, hey man, I'm so banked up. I need to really chill. And they put him on an IR. So I'm just saying, like, make that move and then just boom. Then you might even still have the starting tight end for the Raiders for all you know.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Banged up right now.
The Sagittariuses are thinking the same again.
Yes.
And you'll have that extra spot because you're giving up the 2-for-1. So you'll be able to go grab him right away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's get a couple more questions in here. Pray
to God that Jared Cook does something because he's god awful.
Yeah, he's bad.
But he's connected to Herbert, so there's that.
Yeah, that's the only thing he's got going for him. That's a good thing, though. That's definitely a good thing.
Read that on the resume, you're like, all right, fucking starting him.
Yeah, and like before, it was connected to Drew Brees, right? Like he's always been able to use that. Like I may suck, but I got cool friends.
Yeah, and then look at why I was on Waller early, like back in 2019. I was on going into 2019. I was on Darren Waller because I remember the way Jared Cook used to get peppered by Derek Carr, but it would be so frustrating because he would just like drop end zone targets, and you know what I mean. He was doing Jared Cook things, but he was getting. Yeah. So it's like, tendencies, right?
Well, you got to take a shot on a guy like that. Just from how skilled that he was. Got on some drugs and got clean. And
just being drafted by the Ravens organization when Ozzie Newsome was still there, I'm gonna pay attention to every tight end there because Ozzie Newsome, who was a tight end himself, is just the tight end guru. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
He knows how to pick them.
Vanessa said, "What do you think about Deshaun?"
Yeah, my bad, because they drafted Waller initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were on the practice squad, and it was I don't even know if it was John Gruden over there yet, but they said they literally just saw him in the practice, and he was on the practice squad, and they were like, "Who's that guy?" And they're like, "Oh, that's Darren Waller." And they're like, "Okay, we're about to sign him from your practice squad." And he's about to start. And they said it was like 2 catches that they saw him make. That was it. But he said the athleticism was just so off the charts. It was better than anyone they had on their team at tight end.
Yeah, because I think they had what was his name? Conklin? Or I forget, dog. They had some other bum before that they drafted. He didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But
it was trash. If a practice squad guy, I mean, I know Darren Waller's good, but if they're looking at practice squad guys and they say, I'm going to sign them and they're starting right away before they even suit up for the team, that's how trash the positional room is.
And it definitely, when you see, now you're helping me remember this whole thing. It was Chucky there, because that's exactly what Chucky does. He sees some, oh yeah, that's the best right there. Right here on the spot. Right on
One man's trash is another man's treasure. It always works like that. And Vanessa said, what do you think about the Deshaun Watson and the trade situation? What are your thoughts on it? So we talked about that kind of that was like the first topic on the show. And I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I know there's more talks of it like right now, but now it's even like Miami might get him and he still might not play this year. And the trade clause might be it has to happen after his trial.
From what I'm hearing, though, that Goodell said that there would be no way that he would be put on the exemption list. So if they were to trade him, my thought is that he would play. But we don't know right now. And that's the best answer probably, is we just don't know. If I were to speculate, I would say that that there will be some sort of trade that goes down, but we don't know.
Well, I know if it's going to happen, it's going to happen before next Tuesday's show, because we go live at 4 p.m. Eastern, and the trade deadline is 4 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday. All right, let's see. Let's get a couple more questions in here. Richie Greens. I have Jamar Chase and Waddle as my other RB2s, so I offered CeeDee Lamb and Ridley for Cup. Is that a good trade, or should I cancel it? I'd say cancel it.
Cancel that,
yeah. Because there's bye weeks all the way up to week 14. You have 2 players right there that are focal, that are contributors to their offenses. You know what I mean? And they have no more bye weeks. I'm sticking with it. And anything can happen. What if something happens to Cup? Then you're down like 2 spots, basically. You know what I mean?
Bobby Rain said I traded trash Mike Davis. Finally found a sucker to take him.
Good for you. Good for you.
Hey, hold on. Listen. I want to say something though. Like, don't laugh at their misfortune. You should thank them because they got him away from you. Because now laughing at it, the fantasy gods don't like arrogance.
Yeah.
No. You will get punished for sure for that.
Just take it and run. Take it and run. I see. Said someone offered me Robert Woods and Melvin Gordon for D-Hop. Is that a good trade? I'm not giving up D-Hop.
I hope you laughed.
No. Melvin Gordon is not going to last too much. Something's going to happen, or they're just going to keep giving it to Javonte Williams, and that's going to end up being worth nothing.
Yeah, no, you don't get rid of Luke Skywalker.
No.
And Lou Triple D shouting out TD. What up? So I just traded Jefferson, Moss, Corduroy. Or I traded Jefferson and Moss for Corduroy and Diggs. What y'all think?
I'm not mad at it.
I like it. Moss is trash.
Yes.
Moss is nothing.
Personally, I like Moss, but he's not being utilized in the offense the right way. I think that it's just as long as Singletary's there, both of them are going to be taking away production from the other. So yeah, I like that trade.
You have the cannibalism within each other, him and Singletary, right?
Yes.
You have Josh Allen, the Stallion, who's also liable to take away those red zone carries. You know what I mean?
Oh yes.
Right? So, but what Zach Moss is a great flex when you know that this team's about to whoop that ass, because then he'll come in the fourth quarter and just eat clock. You know what I mean? And He gets like 40 yards of cheap shit after his whatever he was doing prior to the game, and then if he falls into the end zone, you have a good day. But there's too many variables for me to be on Zach Moss, so I love that trade for him.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we're going to be answering questions for about 5 more minutes, so we're just going to kind of rapid fire these. If you want to get your question in for sure, leave it in as a super chat right now. We're just going to rapid fire these. Triple X Lex, drop Devonta Freeman or Latavius Murray for a stash flex option. Drop Freeman.
Yes.
Yeah, because when Murray gets back healthy, he should be like the guy, quote unquote.
Right. He said, or keep both. I mean, I'm almost tempted to drop both for 2 other stash.
I would, yes. I'd rather drop both than keep both, personally.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, I picked up a ton of Tyson Williams because he was like just floating out there, and then I just to speculate, and then he's the one I cut this week. You know what I mean? Like
shoot for upside. Shoot for upside, not mediocrity.
Always.
Let's see. Antonio, start Michael Carter or Gesicki. Feel like Carter might have as many catches as Gesicki's going to have this week. Lots going to come in garbage. I'm going Carter slightly over Gesicki.
Yes, it's slightly toward Carter.
It's mainly too because of the matchup. You know what I mean? But also questions. I might even play Gesicki over whatever tight end he's playing. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Don't not play Gesicki if you don't, because Gesicki is better than a lot of these tight ends right now, regardless of the matchup. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm going Carter. I like his workload. I know there's a lot of Ty Johnson, but I ain't tripping. Throw him out there. He's flex.
Shout out to Aiden getting that super chat in there. There we go. I got you the extra entry into the jersey giveaway. Said I traded Cup and the Cowboys D for J-Rob and Debo and the Cards D. I already have Eckler, D, Cook, Keenan, and Deontay. Smart move or no? So Cup and the Cowboys D for J-Rob, Debo, and the Cards D.
I mean, damn, you know what I don't like about this is Debo is one of those guys I'm selling high on. Like, I'm not trying to buy Debo with that's, and I get it. He got James Robinson. That's the only way where I'm like, okay, but he already said he has Eckler, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't think he had to do that one.
Well, considering what he already has Eckler and Cook. Yeah, it's not as good of a trade because you want to have the better upside at wide receiver. However, I disagree with you on Debo. I think that Debo is going to be fine. I think that the Cards D overall is better than the Cowboys D, and J-Rob is going to be an asset. I think it's kind of a 50-50 sort of thing, and I don't think it's something you needed to do. I think Cup overall is the best player in PPR for that trade. So.
And here's the thing too, like where I'm at with Debo is like, how long is the Jimmy thing gonna last before we switch back to Lance, and then like we go to do the Lance experiment again? Like, even I would say I'm on record for saying when it is Lance, I'm worried about all the receiving options because this guy's more willing to run. You know what I mean?
It's like the same thing that how hurts his wide receivers as well.
Exactly.
I think you should have held personally because Cup was your best wide receiver.
Yeah.
J-Rob is going to be your third best running back, and Debo is like mixing in for like your wide receiver too. So that's why I would have just held.
Yeah, I mean he had Cup, Eckler, and Cook. That's awesome.
I like Debo, and you want to hold on to him if you have him. I'm not necessarily selling high on him. I do like what he can do, and I have seen Lance throw to him too. So I think that he should be okay, but it's a lot less secure than Cup for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Antonio getting that super sticker in there. Let me get you that extra entry into the.
But for the most part, that trade shouldn't hurt him. That trade should, you know what I mean? Like, I think if you give me 2 flex spots, I'm putting running backs in them. So like in most of my leagues that I have 2 flexes, I'm running 4 running back sets. I'm running 4 horsemen. I call it the chunky. I call it the chunky strategy. You know what I mean? You gotta get chunky on the ground with them. And so for me, I'm not mad at it. I would have held. But on the flip side, he got extra chunky. Now he has Robinson with his Cook and Eckler.
I mean, J-Rob and Debo should, in theory, outscore Cup most weeks. But if you can't play him, if you only have one flex spot and you got to pick and choose, that's where it kind of didn't help you out that much.
A lot of times, whether a trade is good or not is based on what you already have on your team.
Yep.
And the team defenses being thrown in, that's all just like we're not even looking at that in the trade. You know what I mean? Because that's all.
Yeah, that almost didn't matter.
Yeah.
You just swap defenses. And Mac, what up, bro? He said, great info on the show, fellas. And hey, Gandalf, what kind of magic you puffing on there in that pipe?
Oh, yes, of course. It is some old Toby from the West Farthing. I believe this one is called Punch Breath. It's a mixture between Mendo Breath and Purple Punch. Very good. Very good.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of the Mendo Breath. I'm a big fan of the breaths all day. And the cereals, too. I like the cereals. Yeah.
Last couple questions here. Do I flex Henderson, Mixon, Antonio Brown, Devonta Smith? So Antonio Brown's probably not going to play. I'm leaning Henderson on this.
Mixon, they're playing. They're playing.
They're playing the Jets.
Oh man, I'm going. Damn. You know what though? They might get up and it's like Samaje P. Run, do your thing.
Yeah. Yes. I'm afraid of that too.
For Henderson, but at least Henderson's involvement is guaranteed to me. Compared to Mixon, we're going Henderson.
Henderson for sure.
Harry and
Henderson.
Yeah.
All right. All in agreement there. Uzi, should I drop Fant for Moss? In standard, I have Kelsey as my tight end, and Moss has a nice schedule for the next 3 weeks. I think Gandalf likes Moss, but I don't.
Yeah, I like Moss. Moss is only a flex. You know what I mean?
Yes, I like Moss as a flex, but I don't know if I would drop Fant for him. I mean, if you got Kelsey, I don't know.
You don't want to drop Fant and let somebody else get you with Fant. Like, go trade Fant or something. Like,
exactly. I would say trade Fant if you can.
Or what you do is just go drop a kicker or something and then pick up your Moss and go start making your trade offers.
There's a strategy we both like, yes.
You know why? Because it involves dropping the kickers. We don't need
the anti-tacos we are, yes.
And Antonio said, shout out to the Wizard smoking the pipe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's Gandalf the Great. Put some respect on his name. He's been in several books have been written about him.
Let's see. Manny T guy offers me A-Rob and Miles Sanders for Ridley. Should I accept it? No.
Yeah, that's a hard pass.
No. Sanders is hurt, and then if he loses much favor to Gainwell, it's not going to be good. And A-Rob can't do it this year. I don't know.
Would you trade away for Hasu? Would you trade away Waller and McCaffrey from Najee Harris? I have Ertz and Goddard.
Yeah.
It's tough. I think I'd hold. I wouldn't want to trade both of them for Najee.
Well, wait. He has Ertz and Goddard. See, that's the thing. With Ertz and Goddard at tight end, that might be actually pretty solid. You go matchups with them. And what I'm worried about, call me crazy, but I'm worried about the McCaffrey situation because I remember what happened last year, and this is starting to look the same. And I'm very, very concerned about that. And so if I'm concerned, then yes, that's a good play, and Najee Harris is playing his ass off.
Well, 9 losses, basically, you're out of it, right? So, like, the closer they get to 9 losses, if CMC is not back, you probably don't have to expect him to come back because that's what happened last year. Once you're out of the race, you're like, all right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I hate that because I traded a package deal with Harris to bring over CMC before the year started. Then I immediately went and traded for Chuba Hubbard, and then that sucks.
All right, last 2 questions in here from Grapefruit and then Sean E.G. We got another live stream coming up for Q&A in about an hour, so just make sure you tap back in here on my channel, Fantasy Football Hustler. From Mr. Grapefruit, 10-team standard, Amari Cooper, Kadarius Toney, Kenny Gainwell in the flex. As of now, Kenny Gainwell.
I don't know. I would put in Amari Cooper, even though it is standard. Although, what is sorry, I apologize. What is the matchup for Gainwell this week?
Gainwell goes up against the Lions.
The Lions. Oh, well then. Actually, might be a better matchup. Let me look at that real quick.
Cooper is going up against the Vikings, and
Vikings,
Tony
yeah.
is going up against the Chiefs.
I think, well, it's between Cooper and Gainwell as far as I'm concerned. And it being standard, if it was PPR, I would definitely be about Cooper. But because it's standard, slight lean toward Gainwell.
I agree.
If it's standard, I'm depending on Gainwell to get his receptions. Yeah. So I'm actually going to lean Cooper because in a standard, I just need one big one. You know what I mean?
What up, Sir Bongs a lot? You made it in here right at the last second. We'll be back in an hour doing another Q&A.
Well, I think, okay, I have a thought real quick on the Gainwell thing. And that's that a lot of people are saying, well, what about Boston Scott? Gainwell's going to keep his roles at third. I don't think that's true. I think that look at the J.D. McKissick situation. A lot of people were talking about Patterson, and Patterson did nothing. McKissick, if Gibson's out, he's going to take on that full role, and I think the same thing goes with Gainwell. I think that Gainwell is good enough both on the ground and in the passing game that he'll be, if not a 3-down back, he'll be at least, you're looking at 60 to 70% of the touches at least. So.
Here's where I disagree with that though, because like this, the coordinators that are there, was it Sirianni or Nick Serrano? What's his name? The dude from the Eagles. He's a product of Frank Reich. You know what I mean? They're going to use multiple running backs. You know what I mean? So like, I actually do think Boston Scott. But here's another thing too. If Boston Scott, if anything, eats into his work on the ground. You know what I mean? Because I think they'll trust him more.
Oh, yes.
But it's a very small running pie over there. Like, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
So like they don't even run. That's why we need to depend on receptions.
I think generally speaking, Gainwell is used more as a gadget guy because they don't have proper running. Although they say they're turning back to the run, but then they did that. And look what happened to Sanders. So I think that they're going to most likely use both. But I think Gainwell gets used more because he is going to be the pass catching back. He is, of course, But my only point was to say that a lot of people were concerned and asking about, well, is Boston Scott going to be the first and second down back? And no, I don't think so. So I do like Gainwell. I think he's going to get a lot of touches, a lot of targets. I like it.
Last question. Then we're getting up out of here. Rank rest of season this week for standard. Collins, Moss, Chuba, Gainwell, Dearness, and drop 2 in which order? Moss and Collins for me. Well,
Collins, Moss. Wait, who is it? Collins, Moss, Chuba,
Gainwell, Dearness.
I would personally be, if I'm dropping Collins and Johnson.
For me, it'd be Collins and Moss. Because those other guys are all lottery tickets.
Mm.
You're holding them to try to hit the lottery, right?
I think Chubb would have to get injured again for Dearness Johnson to be worth very much.
But that's my point.
I don't bet on that kind of thing. That's me.
Either, but that's for holding them for usage wise. And when he says who do you need to cut, it's probably gonna be Alex Collins and who was the other? Who do you have in there?
Well, we all agree that you should cut Collins.
Yeah, Collins got to cut.
Too much going on there in the backfield.
He is playing.
Chris Carson will be back at some point.
You know what's crazy though? Actually, this is crazy because he's getting an average of 15 carries every week since he's been like the starter, quote unquote.
Yes.
They're playing the Jags this week. You know what I mean?
It could be a good matchup. It's hard to bet on.
High volume, low efficiency. That's
exactly. Sure. Yes.
Yeah,
precisely. And if that volume gets hurt at all, then that's going to be no good.
So we're all a little bit torn. I say Collins and Moss. Gandalf says Collins and Dearness. Bogey, who'd you change your answer to? Moss and who?
Moss, Collins still.
Okay, there we go. All right. And there we go, Antonio. Tell him, hit that like so the great Gandalf can hit that pipe. There we go. Shout out to everyone who was on the stream. We're coming back, like I said, in an hour from now, so make sure you tap in. And let's round robin this here. TD, why don't you tell everybody where to find you at?
Guys, go to Fantasy Good Sports on YouTube, Facebook, any social media you can think of. I'm on there, TikTok. Subscribe to my channel. Also, I have an OnlyFans. No, I'm not taking off my clothes. I am providing fantasy football content. So go there, check me out. It's cutting edge.
Gandalf, tell everybody
Yes,
where to
yes,
find
yes.
you at.
Well, you can find me on the channel of the Fantasy Tyrant. You go to YouTube and look up the Fantasy Tyrant. You can also find me, and the Fantasy Tyrant on Facebook. You look up the Fantasy Kingdom or plenty of places. Anywhere that has fantasy information, you're gonna find the Fantasy Tyrant on there for sure. But tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, it will be Gandalf as the special guest host for Mixed Notes. Think of it as being like if SNL's Weekend Update were mixed with fantasy news and hosted by a wizard. That's how it'll be. So thank you, and we'll see you all there.
And Bogart, shout out and tell everybody where to find you at.
Yeah, you can find me at the GMM Network on everything, and you can subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube, and check us out tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard for the Real Fantasy Playmakers What If series. We doing our Halloween special. You know what I mean? We got a really big show tonight. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we got me, Huss, Fornicator, Miles Peacock. Then we got a special guest host, Clock Management. Got my homie Wise Man sliding back through. And then we got Derek from Sports Me. You know what I'm saying? He's the architect of that whole thing. And then we got Maddie Daddy. So this one's going to be fun. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be there, but Hollywood Bo Hogan's going to be there. It's just going to be lit. Tap in.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not going to be there either. I got someone standing in for me too, but you got to show up to see who's standing in for me tonight. But a little hint, he may or may not been in an epic movie once or twice and may or may not have been on a TV show once or twice.
Sick.
Tap in.
Yeah.
And we got the Ricky Williams interview tomorrow. That's at 12 noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. We got a whole bunch of Q&A shows. I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2 on Sunday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. So yeah, just make sure you're tapping in, turn on all the notifications, and yeah, we're out of here, everybody. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Peace.
Thank you. Have a good night.